Welcome to York College Basketball on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Here's Wagner in rhythm, a three, got it! Top of the lane, back out to Gordon, right side, step back, three, hits again!
The Spartans play here. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK, York.
All the way, and Wagner lays it in! Coast to coast, get out of her way! Hands to Scamufo, he spins in, right hand, score! Ahead to Maz, a three, got it!
Now for the call of today's game, here's the voice of the Spartans, Daryl Henry.
Good evening, everyone, from the Freeman Center here in Newport News, Virginia. Welcome to York College Basketball, and this evening, Saturday night primetime hoops, the final regular season doubleheader of the year for the Spartans. They make the visit to Christopher Newport. Hi again, everybody. Daryl Henry with you. Welcome to York College Basketball. A lot at stake here in this regular season finale tonight. For the men later on, it is a game to determine the regular season title and the number one seed in the CAC tournament. For the women, coming up here first with a 6 p.m. tip-off. The Spartans are trying to wrap up the third seed. They entered the day tied for third with Mary Washington, who lost to Marymount. And if they do that, they would bump Christopher Newport into second place in the standings heading into the conference tournament next week. If it's a loss, they will flip a coin upstairs in this building, two of them actually, about 15 minutes after the game, first to determine the 1 or 2 seed. If Christopher Newport wins, they would be tied with Marymount, and then the 3rd and 4th seed between York and Mary Washington. The Spartans looking to take care of their business and get the win and keep the coins in the wallets or wherever those would come from. The York women come in 16-8 overall, 12-5 in the CAC, which, as we said, is tied for third entering the day. Christopher Newport 22-2 in conference play. They are 16-1. They've won 11 in a row and are ranked 12th in the nation in the D3Hoops.com poll, 11th in the nation in the WBCA coaches poll. The first meeting between these two, back on January 13th, the Spartans were down 20 early in the fourth quarter and then mounted an incredible comeback, a 20-0 run to tie it up. So a sideline entry for the Spartans, who go back to work. Here's Wagner down to the post. McGowan backing in on Bird and scores! Katie McGowan backing down the lane, 22! And they're within 8 with 5 minutes to go. Can the Spartans extend this run a bit further? Here's Wagner driving the lane, scores, and a foul called! There it is! Katie Wagner right down the lane like a blur! And it's a 6-point game with 3:45 left. A 14-0 run. So Wagner will shoot, and her first is good. It's 70-66 with 2:38 left. 16-0. One more. Add one more. 70-67 with 2:38 to go.
What's the largest run in York College history? Because this has got to be close. 17-0 run.
This is unbelievable. They chase it the other way. Wagner got there. And up the floor, Wagner's got it, and the Spartans can tie. Here's Ferris for three. It's good! 2 minutes to go! And this game is tied at 70! Do you believe it? And listen to this place. Charles Wolf Gymnasium is in an uproar. It's a 20-0 run. And the Spartans have tied this game at 70 with 1:51 remaining. Timeout, Christopher Newport. Absolutely incredible. And it seems strange to say because Christopher Newport would make the plays down the stretch, make a couple of free throws. York would miss a couple of shots, and a last-ditch attempt to tie it from three went just rimming off. It seems strange to say it as it was a loss, but it had to be one of the highlights of this regular season, a 20-0 run to come all the way back to tie that game. And Betsy Whitman said the one thing that did do is give her team a lot of confidence against this opponent heading into today's contest. So it is the regular season finale. York at Christopher Newport. A win for the women would give them third. Otherwise, we'll flip a coin to determine whether they are third or fourth. They will host a playoff game on Tuesday night. That much is for certain. To be introduced here across the floor from us, we're a little bit toward their bench on the opposite side of the court here on the floor. Sam Mosniak, the first to be introduced, shooting 58% from three her last 6 games played. Morgan Keeney was well on her way to a huge night Wednesday, but unfortunately got teed up and that fouled her out of the game. And it was still the subject of a lot of good-natured ribbing sent her way on the trip today. Beth Wisely starting in the backcourt as well, along with Katie Wagner and Katie McGowan up front, rounding out the starters for York. McGowan 8th in the league in scoring at over 13 a game. Wagner 9th in the league in scoring at over 13 a game. And now Christopher Newport's starters being introduced. And we were given a sheet that had all seniors starting. But that does not appear to be what they're doing. They introduce Makita Wright, Jasmine Bonneville. Well, those are seniors, but not the starters that we were given. You know what? I think they're introducing all of the seniors right now, not necessarily all of the starters. Yep, they're introducing all of the seniors. So that's not important. The starters are Bailey Dufresne, who averages 7 points per game. Devin Bird, a forward who averages 3. Mackenzie Fancher, who's had a terrific senior year and has hit 39 threes for them here this season. Sam Porter, who missed 8 games with a broken hand, but has since returned from that. She's their top scorer at a little under 10 points per game. And Anitra Thomas averaging 5 per game. The starters for Christopher Newport. Now the Spartans take the court here. Forgive me, I'm a little distracted. Somebody from CNU came by and tried to take all my stat packs. Thought they were here for the taking, but those are mine. Spartans out in the road Kelly green. Christopher Newport in the home white with the royal blue numbers and letters. Spartans 5-10 all time against Christopher Newport, trying to end a 6-game skid today. It'll be McGowan against Porter at center. We're ready to go. And it's up, and McGowan tips it to Wagner, and off we go. Regular season finale for the women is underway. Spartans start with it to our left. And here's Mosniak with it out front. Shoveled off to McGowan. Hits Moz on a cut down the lane. Laid it up short. Wrestling to retrieve it, and a jump ball the call. Dufresne had her hands on it as well. And Christopher Newport will have its first possession upcoming. Spartans' last win here was February 24th, 2015. Opening round of the conference playoffs, they were down 18. This group of seniors were freshmen at the time. Here's Dufresne driving the right edge of the lane. Foul whistled on Beth Wisely, who stood there with an arm up. Coach Whitman thought she had gotten her hands on the ball and that perhaps it should be another jump, but not the case. And Wisely whistled for the first of the game. Dufresne's first free throw up, and it rims off. 68% foul shooter. As a team, CNU certainly is known for what they do defensively. Second one, back rim, but Fancher is there to grab it. And circles back out with the ball. Here's Devin Bird off to Thomas, right wing 3. Front rim, rebound, Porter, and puts it back. And offensive rebounding, another thing that CNU's known for, 3rd in the nation at 22 per game. They will press. Spartans handle it. Keeney up the far sideline to Wisely. Across to McGowan. Pass off her hands. Mishandled and stolen by Thomas. Leading Fancher on the transition break and lays it in. 4-0 CNU. And McGowan had a little grimace. I'm not sure if that pass hit her up near the face or she was just upset with the result. And now a lob ahead intercepted. Porter on the far sideline. Across the lane for Thomas. Could not connect, and out of bounds back to York. Went through Thomas's hands. And Keeney in the backcourt will help out against the press. A handoff to Mozniak, who will work it ahead. Here's Wisely up top. Right side, McGowan driving in. Some contact and a runner up and good. No whistle, but McGowan hangs in there and finishes the shot. 4-2, and a foul at the other end. Dufresne slashing in from the right of the paint. And McGowan went for the block. She's whistled. And the second on York here early. 4-2 our score. And Dufresne with 2 more. Her first up and good. After missing her first 2, she sinks this one. Captains have won 14 in a row at home, which is the 4th longest streak in their program history. Goes back to last February. And Dufresne's second is straight in. 6-2 CNU. They'll press all day. Couple of different looks. This one a 1-2-2. McGowan dashes up the far sideline. Turns in. Had it knocked loose. And again, there's no whistle. Thomas comes away. Ahead it's Fancher. Down low Porter the layup. 8-2. Christopher Newport. Not quite. 2 minutes in. Captains force the 3rd most turnovers in the nation, 32 per game. Here's a 3, and Morgan Keeney connects on it. All net from the left corner. They beat the press, and Keeney was open. Now a stretch pass at the other end for Porter in a crowd, and out of bounds off York. She was in between 2 Spartan defenders, and it was knocked away. She's lucky it didn't go off her hand last. Fancher will inbound underneath and bounces in close. Porter up over the rim, missed it. Rebound ends up in the hands of Keeney. McGowan picks herself up off the deck again. She's been on the floor a lot, and she might have been the one to tip it to Keeney. Here's Wagner hitting Maz down low. Dribbles, turns, and shoots it in. And it's 8-7. Wagner found Mozniak underneath, actually dribbled up to get an angle, up the lane a step, and took the shot from there. Here's Porter kicking it out to the right, Fancher with it, and to the top for Bird, a jumper, good. A long 2 for Devin Bird, who was on the all-Final Four team last year. CNU made it there, lost to the eventual champs, Amherst. Here's Keeney, cross-court McGowan, and stumbling again as she got rid of the pass. It's intercepted by Thomas, and a reach-in on Wagner at the other end. And I noticed in particular Brooke Davis on the Spartan bench upset. McGowan's been on the floor every possession, it seems, and fell down trying to get that pass away. As she's been playing through some soreness all year, and will actually make her way to the bench right now. Molly Day comes in. Foul was on Wagner, as we said. Makita Wright is in for CNU. Madison Howdyshell is in, has it left wing to Kiana Kirkland out front. She'll drive it, and the ball knocked away and out of bounds. They say she coughed it up. No touch from York. Lost it out of bounds on the drive. And it's York ball as Wagner chucks it our direction. Keeney will scamper in front of our table to grab it. Coming up ahead of the press. Now down the floor, Day to the top. Wisely a 3. Back rim and a long carom to the right corner. Wagner snuffed it out. Up top, Wisely. Her pass deflected by Zara Tanner, who's in the game. And the Captains steal it. Here's Tanner ahead to right. Left wing 3. Rimming up and off. And Mozniak ripped it down. Her outlet, though, batted. Intercepted. A layup missed by Micah Maloney. And Wright ends up with the ball now knocked loose by Mozniak. And Kirkland will chase it back toward the midcourt line. Here's Kirkland dribbling in. Her pass right into the hands of Day. Springs Wagner the other way. Protects the dribble. Hits Keeney trailing. Keeney will slash and kick. A three. Beth Wisely knocks it down, and we're tied at 10. And the Spartans have weathered the early storm. 10-10 our score. 5:40 to go here in the opening quarter. Now Newport will set up shop. And here's Tanner with it. Dribbles to the left of the lane, picks up, and floats it across. Has Tanner there, or Kirkland rather. Kirkland now back to Howdy Shell right wing. 5 to shoot. Darts in, a runner up off the rim. Rebound Keeney. Got it away to Wagner, and Tanner looking to steal it. Collides with Wagner and is whistled for CNU's first foul. Reaching in from behind. Now Jessica Dagill will sub in for CNU, 6'2" junior. She brings some size off the bench, has made 15 starts. Spartans handle the press up the middle. Here's Day, right of the lane, across to Keeney. Little fumble in the catch, now dribbles in with it. Across to Wisely, another jumper, and off for a long two. Rebound tip to right. And the captain's on the move, a pull-up foul line. That's off the back of the rim. Rebound, Katie Wagner, and a reach-in on right. A good 80 feet from the hoop. Right commits. And that's the captain's second. Not the best foul ever, but she was looking for a steal. Katie McGowan will return. Haley Lookabaugh is in. Wisely will head out, along with Keeney. And Wagner will send it toward the York bench for McGowan. Back to Wagner. Buys a little bit of room. Now off to McGowan again. Wagner breaks front court. McGowan will float it her way, and Porter jumped in front of it left wing, tipped it to our counterparts down the table. It will stay with York, 20 to shoot. And Wagner inbounds to Mosniak, inches it ahead. High post to Day. Day with the dribble. Now will shoot from up top, and it's good. Molly Day steps out and hits. And the Spartans have their first lead of the night, 12-10. We're down 8-2. It's a 10-2 run since. Now CNU with it to our right. Porter a high-low and too high for Dygill and out of bounds. Threw it away. Spartans will have it back. 4:16 to go here in the first quarter. And a 12-10 lead for York. Now Mosniak goes to Lookabaugh. To McGowan using the far sideline. Trap coming. Floats it ahead. Lookabaugh to Moz in rhythm. Three ball. It's good. Sam Mosniak from the top of the arc and a timeout taken. Christopher Newport will spend a 30 and make it a 13-2 run. 15-10 the lead for York. 4:04 to go here in the first quarter. Timeout brought to you by Maple Donuts. We'll stay here with it being a 30, but what an answer. And the Spartans, who were turning the ball over the first 3 minutes, have found their footing. And when you beat that press, you can get some outstanding looks. This one went from the right side to the top for Mosniak, who caught it in rhythm and stepped right into the three. She hit 5 on Wednesday night. Had a 6-3 game last Thursday night. And over her last 6 games, she's 21 for 36 from 3. Here's Porter with it, driving the lane. And her layup spun off. Rebound grabbed by McGowan, who turns and tosses up the sideline to Lookabaugh. Now leading Day toward the right corner. Steps through traffic. Goes to McGowan up top. Over to Lookabaugh right wing. And now a bounce feeding Wagner, cutting out to the corner. Around the arc they'll work it. McGowan will dribble in off an overplay. A runner off the glass and good. McGowan with her second bucket. They closed out. She went in and makes it 17-10. Here's a drive and a block, but a foul whistled. As Dufresne took it down the lane, went to a scoop. McGowan went for the huge swat. That's bad news. She picks up her second. 3:18 on the first quarter clock. Morgan Keeney will head to the table. 17-10 York. And Dufresne at the stripe. Her first up and good. Before that free throw, it was a 15-2 Spartan spurt. The bad news, though, again, McGowan has to head out with her second foul. Mosniak and Wagner will take a break as well. Ferris and Hendricks join Keeney coming in. Here's Dufresne's second. That's good. She missed her first two of the day, has made all four since. 17-12 York. Ferris inbounds ahead to Keeney at the second level against the press, and Keeney will bring it ahead on the dribble. Left side for Hendricks. Now to the top for Lookaball, off to Keeney, and had a cutter inside, didn't see Lookaball. Now Day off to Lookaball left baseline, back up top Keeney. Keeney will drive, bounces it left corner to Ferris, swings to Day, and that's a three! Molly Day with the triple from the left wing, 20-12. And the run continues. It's now 18-4, and a travel on Porter trying to duck in off the right side of the play. Ran into a wall of Spartan defenders, dragged her foot as she picked it up. And the Spartans back with it. Here's Ferris handling in the backcourt, lobs it ahead. Jump ball left sideline, poked away by Porter in front of Keeney. Not a literal jump ball, but a 50-50 ball. And Ferris will toss in for Hendricks. Out at point, Debria starts forward. And off to Day, top of the arc. Now into Debria's hands again. 20-12, the lead for York. And here's Lookaball left wing. CNU bench wanted to travel. Keeney a three, air ball right corner, 5 to shoot, and Day had her hand on it as it went out underneath. The CNU back with it. 2:17 to go here in the first quarter. Micah Maloney checks back in. Devin Bird will head off. And Zara Tanner at the handle will march it along for Newport. To our right they go. Here's Dufresne with it right corner. Out front Porter. Down low Maloney, the catch and the layup on the high-low connection. 20-14. 2 minutes left in the quarter. Here's Hendricks at midcourt. Off to Ferris open. And now to Keeney left wing. And into Day's hands. Out at the top. Trying to hit Ferris on a back cut. It's deflected. And Fancher will scoop a steal. Fancher back in for the Captains, brings it up. And across to Dufresne, left wing. Motions for a cutter. It's Porter curling in. High off the glass, and it goes. Sam Porter on the cut down deep. 20-16 York. Minute 30 left here in the first quarter. Debria facing a double team ahead the Day at half court. Now they've got numbers. Down low, Keeney. Layup fell off, and Fancher takes the board away. Leads Dufresne up the right sideline with the catch. Missed opportunity for York. Across to Tanner. Three in and out from the left wing. And Day going after it. It ricochets out off a captain hand last. And back to York with 1:04 left here in the opening quarter. Beth Wisely back for York. Anitra Thomas back for CNU. One of the officials giving the official table some instructs. Ferris will be the passer. And a baseball throw into Wisely. Back to Kayla, who eyes it up, inching ahead. Now brings it across. Floats it left sideline to Keeney. Doubled there. Back to Hendricks. Whips it into Ferris, but it went through her hands. And out of bounds, a York turnover. And I can think of 3 times where they've been open inside. One, they didn't see the cutter. That one went through Ferris's hands. And the one that Keeney had a moment ago where they had numbers but couldn't get the layup to settle in. Still up 4. Here's a drive. Maloney lays it in down the lane. Now they're up 2. 20-18 York. As the Captains push back. Here's Ferris with it. Dribbles right to the left of an approaching trap. Very confidently. Shovels it off to Wisely. A skip to the left sideline for Keeney. Keeney will wheel it in. Pass across intended for Hendricks is deflected. Right to CNU coach Bill Broderick on the sideline. And York will have it with 14 to shoot. 17.5 left in the quarter. Wagner was out briefly. Back in. And Hendricks will inbound to Katie. Cutting up top Left side to Wisely. Wagner will screen. Wisely dribbles in. A bump, a layup. It's in, and they count it. Basket and one. Beth Wisely down the lane. Used the screen from Wagner, who rolled to the hoop, but Wisely took it herself. And a foul on Porter, her first of the day. Wisely's free throw, it's perfect. And the rotating spinning board trying to mess with the sight line up in the band did not distract her. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Here's Tanner down the lane, kicks right corner, Dufresne, 3, it's short, and the first quarter is over with York up 5. They were down 8-2 early, and then they controlled it, and they lead 23-18 at the end of one. Second quarter is next on the Spartan Sports Network.
Rich Eisen.
I might be the mayor of the Follicle Challenge community.
I like it. The Rich Eisen Show.
And guess where we are right now? We have the NBA Finals that everybody was hoping for last year. Warriors, filled with momentum, taking on a Cavaliers team, fully healthy, ready for action. Kyrie Irving, healthy. Kevin Love, healthy. Iman Shumpert and Dellavedova and J.R. Smith in the roles that they should be in because the main engines for scoring are in place for the Cavaliers. Cavs, Warriors, and I do want to say this. I'm already seeing the Choklahoma City Thunder. There's a lot of folks. I'm seeing all of the crying Jordan memes. I even retweeted one. Time to roll.
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
Weekdays at noon on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. We're Screamin' Green. How about you? The York College Spartans are on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Ten minutes in, it's 23-18 York. Outscored 8-2 at the start. After that, a 21-10 spurt. Here's Wagner down the lane, layup, good. Morgan Keeney threads the needle to her, cutting down the lane and weaves it in through traffic. Spartans strike first to begin the second quarter. Wagner's first 2 of the day. Here's Tanner with it out front. And a lob in deep push off, her 3-second actually. Jessica Digil camped in the lane. Spartans had her fronted, but Digil in there too long. Spartans inbound it. Great pass. Keeney to Hendricks down court, down the lane, and Digil back to block it. And now a jump ball as Wisely reached in quickly, forces the arrow to flip, but it will remain with CNU. Keeney's been coming up to help against the press, getting those forwards involved. Did it with McGowan when she was in, and then made a great pass, right? Talk about a QB hitting a tight window right in between 2 transition defenders. Right to Hendricks, but blocked at the other end. Now the captains with the ball. Here's Porter with it. Along the top, off to Thomas, who's got a face mask from a previous injury. Down low to Digil, and the reach from the help side ends up in a York foul. Now it'll be Digil to shoot. And her first up and bounces off. Digil, a 51% free throw shooter. Averages 7 points per game. That foul was on Beth Wisely, her second. The Spartans a pair with 2 now. And Kayla Ferris will come in. It is... No, the foul was not on Wisely. It was on Wagner, and that's her second. So Ferris is in for Wagner. And Digil with 1 more in the air, and that kicks off, and Ferris rebounds the miss. Ahead quickly for Wisely. Down the floor, Lookabaugh. Inside to Wisely, and popped loose by Fancher. Tip to Thomas. Thomas working her way up the floor, off to Fancher for three. Missed the shot, left wing. Rebound, Dufresne on the weak side. Swings it up top, and Thomas hits for three. And it's 25-21 York. Thomas, perhaps their best outside shooter aside from Fancher, who's picked it up as a senior. Spartans now with it, and Dufresne tips one toward us. And it's out of bounds against the table. It will stay with York. Dufresne reaching for that pass toward the top of the lane. It was then a foot race with Lookaball toward the table. And neither could get there. Dufresne the last touch. Lookaball will inbound. Ferris and Lookaball work it back ahead. Here's Mozniak back in. A step back. Three off the dribble. It's good. Sam Mozniak all net. Right on Fancher. 28-21. A three at the other end. Thomas misfired from the left wing. It's saved in by Porter in the opposite corner. And now Dufresne with it. Lookaball closes out. And CNU will reset. But Mozniak, can't say it enough. She's been red hot down the stretch. Here's a three, missed long by Micah Maloney. It's saved in, though, by Fancher in front of their dance team. Now she's fed left corner. That three wouldn't go. Three misses. Ferris trying to keep it in. It's batted around. Ferris caught it, but her feet were on the baseline. And CNU's going to get a chance at a fourth shot on this possession. They've missed 3 threes, and they've rebounded them all. 7:41 to go in the half, 28-21 York. And Tanner from the baseline inbounds toward the top. Here's Dufresne with it, met by Mozniak, who's got 8 in the scoring column here early after making her second three. Now they work it to Dufresne, left wing, dribbles deep, and the help slid over back to the left wing, and Porter with a three ball. Sam Porter, just her fourth attempt and her second make from three this year. 28-24. Here's Maz breaking open in the front court. Dribbled deep across to Keeney. A left corner three rattled out. And the rebound to CNU. Up ahead, it's Dufresne. Down the lane, layup good. And on the sprint out, Dufresne with the quick score, 28-26. Now Ferris needs someone to pop open. Wisely will. Beth will dribble it ahead. Captain's back off. And Wisely now will try to trap right wing. She's got Ferris up top. Back to Wisely. Over to Lookaball. Left wing three. That's good. Haley Lookaball reins it in. And the Spartans hot from downtown in this first half. Here's Porter low left. Steps in. Layup fell off the front. And Lookaball rebounds, clears ahead. Spartans up 5. Keeney to Maz, a left corner three. It's good again. Sam Mozniak nails it from the corner. Her third three in this first half. 34-26 York. And she has been absolutely locked in for about the last 3 weeks. Now she's got a blocked shot, but a late whistle and a foul. Fouled the jump shooter Thomas right around the free throw line. And as she shakes her right hand, she will have 2 freebies from that spot. It's Mozniak's first. Thomas, 77% foul shooter. And her first on the way and good. Thomas was their top 3-point threat last year off the bench. This year it's been Fancher, but Thomas has had some big games against York. Career high 23 as a sophomore. Season high 15 last year. Back rims the second. Molly Day back in. Rebounds the miss. And the Spartans up 34-27. Ferris is hounded. Fires it ahead to Lookaball. To Maz into the left corner for Keeney. Across to Ferris right wing. Plants, dribbles in. Runner up and in, but they wave it off. An offensive foul. Makita Wright in the lane. Flops back. And Ferris whistled for the charge. No basket. That's the third on York this quarter, and that's 3 more than CNU has. 5:30 left here in the first half. And here's Kirkland, bothered by Mozniak up top. Now a pass off to Jasmine Bonneville, who's in. Top of the arc to right, drives, flips it up off the rim. Layup wouldn't sink, and it's knocked out by the captains underneath. And there you can hear Bill Broderick turning up his volume, although it is pretty much always at a fever pitch. Ferris will inbound to Keeney. 5:15 left, and now Keeney in a trap. It's taken away by Fancher. Clear path for the layup, and a timeout, York. 5:11 to go here in the first half. York 34, Christopher Newport 29. Keeney got pinned there in the backcourt, and the steal leads to a wide open 2. Spartans up 5. Timeout brought to you by Maple Donuts.
The puck drops here.
He shoots and scores!
Sports Radio 1350, your home for Hershey Bears hockey.
Christian Thomas, a highlight reel move!
And the Washington Capitals.
Rebound score!
Defending the Den and rocking the red all season. Catch the Bears and the Caps on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
It's almost time. The York Revolution roster is being built for the 2017 season, and right here is where you get the news first. Join Daryl Henry and Revs manager Mark Mason for Revs Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. The latest player signings live on the show each week. Coming up this week, the York Revolution are signing. That wouldn't be fun. You gotta tune in to find out. Revs Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy.
This Tuesday at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. Back quickly from that full timeout. Spartans work it up the floor against the pressure. And here's Keeney down low. Day blocked from behind, but the arm goes up. It's a foul. Nicely set up. The captains were buzzing defensively. And Keeney had it on the left side of the play. Day got inside her defender. And Makita Wright could only foul her from behind. Day's first is up and good. All net on the free throw. Day had 10 points, career high 8 boards in the first meeting, 3 assists as well. And that gives her 6 points today. Second, that's good. And she's got 7. Nice lift off the bench with McGowan seated on 2 early fouls. Spartans up 7. Dufresne running floater in the lane. Left to right, it's up and good. 36-31 York. Now Day helping out against the press. Will bounce it off to Ferris in stride. Goes to Day up top. Her pass batted and stolen by Kirkland. Bonneville had the block. And Kirkland dribbles in, slipped, fell to the floor. She and Mozniak both with hands on it. And it's going to go back to York. Jump ball back to the Spartans. Thanks to Sam Mozniak's effort, stepping right in there in the paint. 4:26 left in the half. And Ferris will throw a bounce pass into Day. Double team coming. Spends her dribble. Now trapped. And the pass back intercepted. Taken away by Tanner, who got there in front of Ferris along the baseline. Now across to Fancher, a 3, and off the rim. It's tipped and out of bounds off Porter's hand last. Now the Spartans dodge a bullet. Now Wisely back in. And Lookaball will head out. Spartans up 5. And Ferris on the baseline throws into Wisely. Bounces it back to Ferris open. And ahead to Keeney, wide open down the floor. Stop, shoots, hits it. A long 2 left side. She was all by herself. And the Spartans beat the press. It leads to a wide open Jay. 38-31. 3:50 left here in a high-scoring first half. Now the captain's set up. Here's Tanner with it. Over to Bonneville, left wing 3. It's good. Only a 15% three-point shooter this year, but hits her 8th. 38-34. Now Ferris eyeing up the trap, throws it ahead to Day at the foul line. Out to Keeney, left wing 3, short. Wisely will reach for it, got there on the shot side. throws it back to Ferris up top. Now left wing to Wisely. And Beth crossing over on Fancher, drives it, tried to come to a stop. It's a foul. And I was afraid they were going to call a travel on the stop. She had a big stride, tried to plant. It's a foul, though, on Bonneville reaching across. And that's 2 on CNU this quarter. The player with her first. And Ferris will inbound to Day. Left baseline, shoots from there. Off the iron, and Sam Porter brings it down. Shovels off to Fancher. Leads Tanner down the left side. Turns in on the drive and lays it in. Now Tanner off the dribble. Gets to the hoop. 38-36. It's cut to 2 again. Here's Ferris speeding down the middle. To Keeney right corner. Pops it back to Wisely. Hands it off to Keeney. Now to Day for 3 and good again! Molly Day rattles in her second. And the Spartans continue to heat it up from downtown. 41-36. Gives them a little cushion again. 2.5 left in the half. Here's a drive. Porter banging inside. Missed it. And Ferris comes away. Up the far sideline. Angles in. Pulls up. And the shot off the rim. Little 10-footer. And now the captains look to counter. Fancher goes behind the back. Down the lane. Missed the scoop. Rebound Dufresne and puts it back in. 41-38. Now Mozniak will handle it. Waits for the trap to approach. Tosses ahead to Wisely. Now to Keeney. Open left side. That one off the rim. It looked good. Day the rebound underneath. And a foul on the captains with 1:50 left in the half. So Day comes up big on the offensive glass. Her 10 points already, which is what she had in the first meeting, are within 2 of matching her career high. And now she'll come out getting a well-deserved break. She's been awesome. Ellie Lookaball back. Ferris baseline play. And looking, trying to hit Wisely, cutting down the lane. And tipped back to Ferris, who caught it still out of bounds. And the Spartans turn it over. Wisely trying to get there right in between 2 captains who were step for step with her. And it was tipped right back to Ferris. Spartans, some freshmen playing big minutes in this first half. Ferris, Lookaball, Day. Now the captains with it, setting up Maloney back in. A handoff to Dufresne at the foul line. Curls down the lane, missed off the glass. Maloney, the rebound, and fouled on the putback try. She will go to the line for 2. Morgan Keeney whistled for her first. Again, the captain's 3rd in the nation in offensive rebounds, 22 per game. And Maloney through the routine, her first one up, and it's good. 41-39. Captains are 3rd in steals, 3rd in turnover margin, 3rd in turnovers forced. But don't forget the offensive rebounding as well. They're 3rd in that. And one more for Maloney, airborne, and rattles out, and Ferris will get to it. Ferris now hemmed in, spots Wisely right away, threw it to half court. Now along the Lookaball, swings to Keeney, back to Lookaball, to Ferris, to Hendricks, a 3, miss right side, rebound, Wisely underneath, and got hacked. She and Lookaball both went for it. They might have prevented each other from going back up for the shot, both going for the rebound. But a foul whistled on Zara Tanner, her second. Spartans up 2. 1:18 left in the half. And Wisely with 2 at the line. The band waving flags behind the sight line, and it doesn't bother her. First one up and straight in. 42-39 York. Now Fancher back in. Tanner will sit. And Beth Wisely with one more, bends the knees, lets it rotate, and it rattles home. It is 43-39. Captains up the floor quickly. And here's Fancher with it out top. Pivots in. Has to pick up. Now try to feed Maloney. It's popped loose. Wisely tipped it, and Hendricks draws a foul. On her way up the middle, right at half court. A reach in on CNU. And they had no fouls for about the first half of the quarter. Now they're over the limit. And Debria will shoot. Foul on Maloney, who they were unable to get the ball to. And it's her first. And Hendricks at the line. First attempt rattles out. Spartans still a 4-point lead. And one more on the way. That's in and out. And neither would go. Christopher Newport up the floor, a minute left in the half. Anitra Thomas back in. Goes to Dufresne. Now right side to Howdy Shell, who's back in. They hand to Dufresne up top. Dribbles to the right. And now into the corner for Thomas. And a skip back out front. Fancher directing traffic. Moves it over to the left with the dribble. Uses a screen from Howdy Shell. Picks it up. Bounces in. 3 to shoot. And Maloney missed the layup. And a foul going for the rebound on Christopher Newport. And the Spartans will walk the floor and shoot at the other end. 34.6 left in the half. And that's Maloney again, 2 in a row. First time she was trying to make something happen after the turnover. This time off her own miss, and Keeney, the shooter, first one up and in. And it's 44-39 York. Spartans send Mozniak running to the table in time. She'll be whistled in for Hendricks. Digil back in for CNU. Maloney with those 2 fouls is replaced. Second for Keeney, rattles home. 45-39. 30 seconds left in the half. And the Spartans looking to end it with a stop. Fancher checks the clock. Setting up at point. Inches over to the right. Still dribbling. Flips it out top to Thomas. 12 to shoot. Now to Fancher. Fires down low. Digil missed the layup. Sealed off her defender and was open. And put it up short. Here's Ferris trying to track it down up court. She does. Keeney to look a ball. 3. Got it! From way beyond the arc. And the Spartans up 9. Heading to the half. Haley look a ball from NBA range and beyond. And the Spartans, who were unconscious from 3 in that first half, lead it 48-39. What a first 20 minutes here on the road, trying to lock up the 3rd seed today and deny CNU of a share of the regular season title. 48-39. And Lookaball, I can only imagine she thought she had less time than she did. Either that or she figured, if I pass this, we're not going to have a better shot. So she pulled the trigger from about 30 feet out and drilled it. And that is how the first half comes to a close. Again, it's York 48. Christopher Newport 39. Halftime next here on the Spartan Sports Network.
Get your team parties started with great Best Yet products from your neighborhood SureSave markets. Pick up party planners with $18.93 deli items. Team up Best Yet hot dogs with Best Yet kettle cooked chips. Get Best Yet 12 packs of soda and Best Yet Rising Crust pizzas at Sobel's Markets in Shrewsbury, Stewartstown, Whiteford, and East York, and at Nell's Market Fresh Foods in Spry.
Hi, this is Morgan Keeney. You're listening to York College Basketball on Spartan Sports Network. Let's go York.
There's no running from it. Tax season will be here before you know it. The professionals at Frank Storm & Company can help alleviate the headache. Voted one of the best for all 17 years by the York Dispatch readers for both your personal and business tax needs, Frank Storm & Company makes the process easy. Payrolls, sales tax, preparation of financial statements, in addition to your personal tax service. Call today to set up your appointment at one of 3 convenient locations: York, Dallastown, and Hanover. Frank Storm & Company, committed to personalized quality service.
Hi, this is Abria Hendricks. You're listening to York College Basketball on the Spartan Sports Network. Let's go, York.
When you think of chicken pot pie, it might bring back memories in the kitchen with Grandma.
Grandma's the pot pie almost ready?
Yes, it is. I'll grab my keys. We're going to Rutter's.
For a limited time, VIPs earn triple rewards on all sizes of delicious chicken pot pie. Rutter's, why go anywhere else?
Based right here in York, Gladfelder Insurance Group is one of the largest privately owned insurance brokers in the United States, with more than 500 associates serving 30,000 clients. From the Gladfelder Agency, an all-lines full-service agency in York, to specialty programs insurance serving the needs of commercial clients, including emergency responders, healthcare facilities, schools, towns, churches, and more, Gladfelder has been earning the trust of its clients for more than half a century. Gladfelder Insurance Group, a tradition of service founded on trust. Gladfelder Insurance Group is a proud supporter of York College of Pennsylvania and Spartan Athletics on WOYK.
Your day seems to fly by, but with a great cup of Rutter's coffee, you're on your way to conquering your day. With 6 coffee flavors, including our 4 seriously good new blends, you've got this. And we will give our VIPs triple rewards. Rutter's, why go anywhere else for coffee?
Your home for York's home team. The York College Spartans play here. Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York.
CNU dance team just finished its performance here at the half. The Spartans lead it 48-39 here at halftime. Darrell Henry back with you. We welcome you to the halftime show. Spartans, by the way, if they win this game and if CNU ends up the 2 seed, or if it goes to a coin toss and York ends up 3rd and CNU ends up 2nd, or if York ends up 4th and CNU ends up 1st based on the coin flips, there's, I guess, we just rattled off 3 different scenarios where the Spartans, if they would win their game on Tuesday at home, could end up right back here on Thursday in the 2nd round next week, which would be at 6, as both the captain, women and men, have notched first-round byes, so both will play at home on Thursday. So that'll be a doubleheader, but the Spartans could also end up having to go to Marymount if they would win on Tuesday, and we don't even know who they're playing yet. But did have finals from earlier today, and right now Salisbury is locked in as the 5th seed. Frostburg on the women's side is locked in as the 6th seed. And some finals from earlier: Penn State Harrisburg, a 72-54 win at St. Mary's. On the women's side, men's game, Salisbury at home beat Southern Virginia 78-64. Also on the men's side, Frostburg at home knocked off Wesley 91-74. Mary Washington defeated Marymount 71-60. Penn State Harrisburg, a 71-55 win at St. Mary's. On the men's side, back to some women's scores. Frostburg at home defeated Wesley 77-71. Marymount, a 49-36 win at Mary Washington to force CNU to need to win this game in order to finish tied for first, as Marymount ends up going 17-1 through the regular season, the only loss coming to Christopher Newport, and Marymount responsible also for CNU's only conference loss to this point. The Spartans trying to change that. The Salisbury women got the 5 seed. They beat Southern Virginia 86-69, and those are all of the basketball finals from earlier today. We do have a men's lacrosse final to pass along. The Spartan men, a 19-6 win at Eastern University earlier today. They had a 1 o'clock face-off there, a 19-6 win for the Spartan men's lacrosse team. And here at the half, the women's basketball team on top 48-39 here at Christopher Newport. We will take a timeout. Full rundown of the halftime stats when we come back. And some are pretty for the Spartans, namely the fact that they went 9 for 15 from 3 in that first half. But we will run down the entire rundown for you when we come back. Halftime continues in a moment. York up 9 at the break, 48-39 here at the Freeman Center, where the captains have not lost in their last 14 home games going back to last February. Back after this here on the Spartan Sports Network.
Local sports on WOIK are brought to you by Maple Donuts, a family tradition since 1946.
Trying to quit smoking but find the conventional patch or pill uncomfortable? Trying to lose weight but just can't find the motivation to go to the gym or start a healthier diet? Well, Carl Berkmeyer Hypnosis has an answer. Carl will create a plan customized to your needs and goals and is happy to help men and women of all ages dealing with bad habits or stress. Carl is certified by the National Guild of Hypnotists and offers flexible hours at his office in Stewartstown. Start the year off right by giving Carl a call at 410-236-4842 for a free consultation, or visit his website at cbhypnosis.com. That's cbhypnosis.com.
Hey, this is Andy Shea with the Keystone Sports Network. For the best Penn State football analysis and commentary, listen to Sports Radio 1350 for the Keystone Kickoff Show every Monday, Thursday, and Friday at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. We'll bring you game reviews, player evaluations, and recruiting news. So for the best in Penn State talk, tune to Sports Radio 1350 WOIK for the Keystone Kickoff Show, brought to you locally by your neighborhood SureSave markets.
Can't get enough of the Birds? WOIK has you covered. Join us all season on Mondays at 6 for the Baltimore Baseball Show, hosted by award-winning Orioles and National Baseball writer Dan Connolly from BaltimoreBaseball.com. Exclusive in-depth interviews plus the latest insight and analysis on the Orioles every week. Talking baseball with the Birds, Mondays at 6. The Baltimore Baseball Show on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK. First in York, first in sports.
It's almost time. The York Revolution roster is being built for the 2017 season, and right here is where you get the news first. Join Daryl Henry and Revs manager Mark Mason for Revs Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. The latest player signings live on the show each week. Coming up this week, the York Revolution are signing... That wouldn't be fun. You gotta tune in to find out. Revs Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy.
This Tuesday at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
This winter, the world's finest athletes gather in South Korea, competing for sports' ultimate achievement, Olympic gold. Sports Radio 1350 keeps you locked in with coverage of the 2018 Winter Olympics, presented by Flying Feet Sports Shoes. Listen for live updates throughout the day. Go down on the ice with live play-by-play hockey action. 2018 Winter Olympics coverage is here, presented by Flying Feet Sports Shoes. Don't miss a minute of it. On Sports Radio 1350 and online at WOIK1350.com.
Hi, this is Katie McGowan. You're listening to York College Basketball on the Spartan Sports Network. Let's go, York.
Well, not a whole lot for the Spartans to talk about in the locker room. They came out with 6 minutes still to go in the half to shoot. CNU coming out now. Spartans trying to spoil their senior day. They lead at 48-39 here at halftime at the Freeman Center. We take a look at these halftime stats, and remember, they only had 5 minutes from Katie McGowan in that first half due to foul trouble. They only had 8 minutes from Katie Wagner in the first half, as she had 2 as well, and yet here they are with a 9-point lead. They shot 57%, 16 for 28, 9 for 15 from 3, 60%. And CNU, we mentioned all their national rankings. Among those, they're the 17th best defense in the country at defending the 3. But the Spartans lit them up in that first half from deep. 7 for 9 from the line. Christopher Newport went 42% from the floor. 3 for 12 from 3, and struggled at the line, just 6 for 12. Spartans out-rebounded Again, national rankings, CNU ranked 25th in the nation in rebounding margin. The 25th best rebounding team in the country. The Spartans out-rebounded them 20-18 in the first half, although they did give up 9 offensive rebounds. CNU had the advantage 11-2 in second chance points. And if they can clean that up a little bit, Spartans did have 14 turnovers, but they were trying to make plays. They were the one thing that I noticed against the press in that first half, even though they had 14 turnovers, they made way more good decisions than that, and they didn't get on their heels and get shy against the press. They attacked it, and that's why they shot 57% against that press. A lot of teams will get intimidated by it. Christopher Newport forced Mary Washington to commit 40 turnovers on Wednesday night. 40. But the Spartans, 14 at the half. You would prefer fewer, but they are going up against arguably one of the best full-court pressing teams in the nation. And, yeah, they turned it over 14 times, but the Spartans also played it like they wanted to speed up the game, and they welcomed that, and they turned it into golden opportunities, of which they cashed in on many. And also, looking at that a little bit further, they had 14 turnovers, but against that, they had 10 assists on their 16 made baskets. They were outscored 14-8 off turnovers. They were outscored 22-8 in the paint. But we mentioned they have this 9-point lead with McGowan playing 5 minutes, Wagner playing 8 minutes. The Spartan bench outscored Christopher Newport's bench 16-10 in that first half. And you had big minutes from freshmen. And Day was huge. She had 10, hit 2 threes. Lookaball was huge. She hit 2 threes, including the last one that was an absolute heat check. With the first half clock winding down, she decided to pull the trigger from about 30 feet out and buried it. But even though Kayla Ferris didn't score, she did a tremendous job, very calmly and astutely handling the ball against that swarming full-court defense. So really the freshmen coming up absolutely huge, which is ironic because the last time the Spartans won here, this group of seniors, they were freshmen in that 18-point comeback to stun the Captains in the CAC tournament opening round 3 years ago. Captains led by Bailey Dufresne with 10 in that first half. Spartans led by Sam Mosniak with 11. 4 of 5 shooting, 3 for 3 from 3. Molly Day with 10. Beth Wisely with 8. Morgan Keeney, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. And she did an amazing job at helping out against the press. And it was incredible how many times Keeney was wide open on the left wing, down court against the press, just popping jumpers all over the place. Now CNU will open the second half with the ball, and the second half is underway. Fancher will bring it to our left. Spartans up 48-39. Here's Anitra Thomas with it off to Bird. Out at the high post, back to Thomas, who slashes in, kicks it left, a 3, Fancher knocks it down, and it's 48-42. Captains start the half with a 3, and now they will press as Mosniak gives way to Wagner, hustles it across, angles over to the right, McGowan in the corner, back to Wagner, cutting deep, she's doubled there, knocked away, and out of bounds off the hand of Porter. York will keep it. 7 days ago, CNU was down 16 at Penn State Harrisburg, gave up a 16-0 run in the third. They were down 10 late, came back from that. It's never well in hand against them. As they try to hit Mosniak on the back door, that's broken up. Spartans will set up behind the basket. Wagner looking and sends it out right perimeter. Keeney into McGowan posting, doubled, turns, shoots over it, and it bounces up and in. 50-42. And McGowan with her third basket. The Spartans answer with a deuce a minute into the second half. Here's Porter with it high post, drives, kicks it out right. Fancher will wheel in from there, flipped it up left-handed, and it wouldn't drop. And we've got a whistle and a foul. Once again, McGowan hitting the deck hard, but back to her feet. Katie Wagner just got whistled for her third. And Fancher will bounce it in close to Porter, who turns in. Double pumped and missed on the up and under. And it's out of bounds off the captain's last. Now the Spartans get the stop. The bad news, though, Wagner is heading out with 3 fouls. Ferris is in. And she'll play QB against this full court D. Brings it across, crosses over. And now goes to McGowan left wing, dribbling it out along the top, over to Mozniak right side, uses a Keeney screen, bounces it into McGowan in the post, a power dribble in and scores! Split 2 defenders, and McGowan pumps it up and in. Now a ball busted up by Mozniak, I believe. Back at the other end defensively, Fancher grabs it. Spartans up by 10, though. Here's a pump fake, and Anitra Thomas connects on a foul line jumper. So the lead back to 8 again at 52-44. 2 minutes into the second half. Spartans with it. Here's Mozniak up top. Left wing to Ferris. Drives it baseline. A floater up off the rim. Thomas the rebound. Ferris knocked it free momentarily. Fancher right there, though. And she'll angle up the sideline. Hits Dufresne cutting in and lays it in. Dufresne on the back door. And it's 52-46. She leads the captains with 12. Wisely brings it up, going behind the back on the dribble. Keeney now hitting McGowan, cutting out top, back down to Keeney, and Porter had it red. Stepped in front, and now stolen by McGowan. Right down the lane, but missed the layup. And hustling back. It looks like a physical struggle for her today. Dufresne misses a leaner inside. It's loose on the floor. Bodies collapse on both teams. And it's going to be a jump ball with the arrow to York. McGowan, who has been playing through some things throughout the later portion of this season. Just looks frustrated physically. Day will come in for her. We mentioned that she's been on the ground so much today. Been beaten up. She'll sit next to Cooney, who will give her some coaching. And the Spartans with it. Mozniak trying to hit Wisely inside. Knocked loose by Porter from behind. And the captains steal it. Up ahead, it's Thomas with it right wing. And pops it back to Fancher to set up. High post to Dygill, who checked in. They substitute heavily here. Here's Dufresne lowering the shoulder, and a runner draws a whistle. A foul on the play. Kayla Ferris with her second. And captains will send 3 more subs to the table. Dufresne, senior from Manassas, Virginia. Her first free throw up, and it is good. 6-foot guard, so she has length on her side. Her dad played at George Mason. As her career has gone on, her scoring has actually decreased the past couple of years, but this year back up to 7 per game, and she swishes both, and it's a 4-point game. 52-48 York. 6:39 on the third quarter clock. They will press again. Looks like full court man-to-man here. Ferris brings it ahead. And through the logo, goes to Mozniak deep left, down to Wisely, squares up, drives it in. Oh, the layup bounced out. Wisely to the floor, trying to wrestle it back. And a couple of captains seized the opportunity and put their hands on it as well. Jump ball to CNU. Wisely faced up against Makita Wright, got to the rim, but the layup rattled off. Still a 4-point lead. And here is Zara Tanner with the ball, probing, and will give it up to Kiana Kirkland out front. Kirkland drives the left edge, a left-hand layup, up and good. her first 2 off the bench today, and that cuts it to 2, 52-50. A little over 4 minutes into the second half. Spartans were up 9 at the half. Here's Day with it left side into the corner for Mozniak. Steps out, shoots a 3 and hits! Sam Mozniak from way downtown, her 4th of the day. 4 for 4, and they needed that, a big answer. Moz with 14 in the game. It's 55-50. Here's Porter with it. Off to right for 3, way long. Over the rim and off the glass and down into the hands of Mozniak. Here's Ferris. And runs right into Tanner at midcourt. Angled across, though. Leading wisely backdoor and stepped out. And a little too much there trying to get the ball deep. Floated it for Wisely, who had a play on it, but in a lot of traffic, and stepped out. Now the Spartans with their 10th made 3. Mozniak 4 for 4. She came in today averaging over 14 a game. Her last 7 after scoring around 7 a game, little over that, the first portion of the season. Here's a pop back to the left corner and Fancher a 3. Kirkland took it in toward the lane, sent it back to Fancher, and it's 55-53. As the teams trade 3 balls. Now Day wants one. And Long from the right wing had a hand in her face. Digil. Now the captain's the other way as Tanner circles out to the left wing with it. And around the arc to Fancher on the right. Across now to Tanner. Swings left to the corner. A 3. That's no good for Kirkland. Rebound tipped, and Day will get there and snatch it before Kirkland could. Here's Ferris ahead with the ball. Spartans up 2 and a timeout York. Coach Whitman from the bench. It'll be a 30. So we'll stay here. It is just past 7 o'clock. We'll pause for station identification here on the Spartan Sports Network.
First in York. First in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350. WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
Spartans left this morning around 10 a.m. Long trip here. They had lunch across the street. And a long shoot around to get rid of the bus legs. And they'll be headed back late tonight. Understand that it's snowing back home, so be careful if you're out and about. See, we even work weather reports into the broadcast here. Haley Lookaball in. She'll inbound from in front of the table to Ferris. Now the Spartans up 2. Here's Day with it up top. A handoff to Mozniak. And steps back for 3 again. This time short. Her first miss. She's been red hot. Captain's the other way. And off to Fancher trailing. It's a 3. No good. Rebounded to Dufresne to the right of the lane. And they'll work it back out. Now a skip right corner. Dufresne with it. Down low to Maloney. The catch up and missed the shot. And the Spartans looking for the board. Look the ball to the deck. Tied up. It's a jump. It will belong to York. One that they're going to feel they should have been able to grab before it came to that. But looked like a little brief hesitation. Maybe collectively they didn't see it quickly enough. But it is York ball this time. 3:30 left in the third. McGowan to the table. Will be back in here shortly. Here's Lookaball to Mozniak up top. Left side Day. Now Day protecting the dribble. Drives in. Stops. Shoots. Bank shot from the angle. Off the mark. Mozniak the board and fed it underneath. Lookaball puts it back in. And the freshman with 8, the assist coming from Moz, who grabbed the offensive board in the paint. 57-53 York. 3 minutes to go in the third. Here's Dufresne with it. Drives the left edge of the lane. Morgan Keeney, a block shot with the right hand up. Ferris leads Moz ahead. Fancher was on her. Across the lane. Layup missed by Ferris. Coming down the left edge of the paint. And the Captains have it back. A big block, couldn't turn it into points. Here's a drive now and a foul this time. Lookabaugh smothered the attempt from Zara Tanner. Got her across the arms. That's her first, and Tanner will go to the line for 2. She is 8th in the conference in foul shooting, 73%. Averages 7 points per game. Her first one up and good. Tanner 5th in the league in assists at 3.5, 3rd in steals at 3 per game, and she'll project to be the starting point guard next year when Fancher graduates. Now one more, and that one's good. And it's 57-55 York. 2:33 to go in the third. Katie Wagner back in, playing with 3 fouls today. And she'll march it ahead. No press this time, just Dufresne one-on-one. Wagner goes to Day. Back to Wagner, cutting in. Put it up short off the glass. In some traffic there, and Thomas leads Dufresne the other way. Pass across the lane, couldn't get it to Howdy Shell. Day intercepts underneath. Now the Spartans down court. Bill Broderick hollering for a foul. Here's Day, a 3. Rim, glass, rebound, tip to Devin Bird. Her pass hit Howdy Shell in the back. Mazza 3 and got it! And the Spartans jump on it and take advantage of the turnover. 60-55, and Sam Mozniak having a day. 5 for 6 from three-point land. Here's Dufresne with it left side and has to give it up out top. Now out to Fancher with 10 to shoot. Fancher trying to line up a screen, pull up, foul line. That's in and out. Rebound tipped by Maz right to Dufresne though, and lays it in. She's got 16. Mozniak, by the way, with 17, with 5 made threes on 6 attempts. Here's Wagner starting it toward the three-point line. Picks up, needs some help. We've got a whistle. And it's a foul on CNU. You could hear Bill Broderick yell, "Oh, come on." 60-57 York. Dufresne called for her first. Trying to pressure out on the perimeter. And that is only their first as a team this quarter with 1:05 left. Lookabaugh will send into Wagner. Spartans set up. Here's Maz left wing to the top for Day. Cutting out. Guns it down low. We've got a foul whistled. This is on CNU. That pass right on the money for Wagner, making her cut underneath, but play stops as Micah Maloney picks up her third. Now Wagner from under the basket looking. And in it goes to McGowan, left of the lane. Backing on Porter. Dumps it down low. Wagner on the cut. And an off-balance layup up and good. Almost shot it over the shoulder. And the Spartans up 5 again. Dufresne a 3. Bricked it right wing. Maloney in there and fouled in the putback try. Haley Lookabaugh, her second. Another offensive rebound for CNU. And Dufresne will take 2. Leads the way, or Maloney, excuse me. I don't know where I got Dufresne out of that. Oh, she missed the initial shot. And Maloney's first is up and good. Maloney averaging 8 as a sophomore. Last year, as a freshman, led the team in scoring 4 times, twice. 2 of those times it was in the NCAA tournament. Here's her second one up, and that's good. And it's 62-59 York. 41.6 left in the third quarter. Lookabaugh out. Wisely back in. Dygill back in for CNU. Maloney out of the game after making those 2. Wagner will hustle it up. Captains have stopped pressing so much in the full court with the way York handled it. Here's McGowan. Jumper way off. Follows her own miss. Got it back. Hit the underside of the rim. Still battling for it, and a hard landing onto her back. Porter went down as well, but the Captains have it and move up. And now a foul. Oh, no. Is this Wagner's fourth? Closing out, got a piece of Tanner in the face, and it's Wagner's fourth of the day. Not what they wanted to see. 15.9 left in the third. And Zara Tanner will have two. Wagner had gone off, but can't yet. They'll have to take the first free throw before that. Spartans over the limit for the quarter. Tanner's first is up and good. 2-point game. Kayla Ferris subs in. Tanner with one more. Tanner born in Brooklyn, but moved to Virginia. And her second one, that's good. And it's a 1-point game. 62-61. And now they'll press. Ferris inbounds to Wisely. Turns to take a look. Up ahead has Mozniak. Mozniak will patiently set up and now has Ferris to pass to. 6 seconds left. McGowan high post. Turns, drives. Right hand scoop over the rim. Wisely puts it back in to beat the horn. Again, McGowan ends up with a hard landing. Day over to help her up. But Wisely pounces on it and beats the clock. And the Spartans up 3 as we go to the fourth. 64-61 York. 3 quarters complete from CNU here on the Spartan Sports Network.
Donegal offers car and homeowners insurance at rates that are very competitive. So competitive that Donegal's car insurance rates are among the lowest in the state. And if you insure your car and home with Donegal, Donegal will take up to an additional 10% off their already low rates. Donegal, a better value. Contact Kochman Kunkel Insurance at 717-854-0300 or stop in at 3217 East Market Street, York. Locally owned and operated by Pam and Rudy Kochman. Kochman Kunkel Insurance.
It's going to be another epic year of high school hoops, and Sports Radio 1350 is ready for tip-off. Tune in every week for the high school basketball game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Plus, go to WOIK1350.com for a full breakdown of the teams and the players of the York Adams League. The high school basketball game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Catch all the action all season on Sports Radio 1350, online at WOIK1350.com, or download the WOIK mobile app.
Hi, this is Sam Mozniak. You're listening to York College Basketball on the Spartan Sports Network. Let's go, York.
Here we go, fourth quarter upon us, 64-61 York. Captains start with the ball, going to our left. Zara Tanner brings it along, goes to Dufresne, right corner. And back around Fancher along the top. Now Tanner dumps it in. Digeel muscling it up, and it's an offensive foul. Molly Day knocked to the floor, stood in there and wore it. And the Spartans force a turnover to begin the fourth, the 12th on the captains. York with 17, only 3 in the third quarter. As their success shooting actually got CNU out of their bread and butter for much of that third quarter. The press. Here's McGowan up top, thinking about it. Hit her first 2 threes the other night, and she banks one in! Katie McGowan pulls the trigger and banks it in from the top of the arc. Now going for a steal and knocked it away. Down along the sideline to our left. But she had never hit one in her college career until she drilled 2 on Wednesday night, and Digeel was trying to bait her into taking one, and she made it. 67-61. Here's Dufresne, a driving runner, no good. And Molly Day with the rebound. Hendricks will hustle it ahead. Now fires it inside. Day the catch, off to Ferris for the layup underneath. 69-61. And Day feeding her fellow freshman in tight quarters, and a 3 brick by Bird out front, and McGowan hangs on to the rebound. Her third of the day. And here's Hendricks on a drive, hit the bottom of the backboard as she was forced a little too deep. Captain's back the other way. Here's Bird with it, stepping around Day and lays it in the post. 69-63 York, 8:15 to go. Now Hendricks will call it out, setting up the offense. Wagner on the bench with 4. Here's DeBria up top. High post, McGowan turns on Bird, a foul on the floor. A hand check, or an arm bar behind her. That is Bird's second. Now Molly Day coming out, Morgan Keeney back in. And Hendricks underneath. Will send it in close to McGowan, back to DeBria, right corner. Didn't want the 3, she'll go to McGowan, now back to DeBria, and run some offense. Here's Keeney with it. A bounce off to McGowan, shot fake, couple of dribbles, picks up. Now trying to hit a cutter, and Fancher was in front of Ferris. Intercepts it. Up ahead, it's Porter left side, stops underneath and draws the foul. Came to a stop, going full speed, and pretty much stopped on a dime, which led to Beth Wisely getting a piece of her second. There's Sam Porter to take 2. And her first one up and rattles it in. Porter, senior, she missed 8 games with a broken hand, but has come back recently, and one of the great thieves in CAC history, the 5th in conference history with over 300 steals. Second one is good. One of the other 4, Asia Walfer from York, graduated in 2014. McGowan hustling it up the floor. Maloney reached in, nearly popped it loose. Katie recovers, hits Wisely. Out to Mazza, 3, and back rimmed it from the right corner. Rebound on the other side. Keeney got it falling down. Out to McGowan. Hits again. Katie McGowan, the first 4 threes of her college career have come in the last 2 games of this regular season. And York up 7 with 7:10 to go. Here's a jumper, and Maloney hits from the foul line. 72-67 York. McGowan gets the effort accolades all day. Here's Wisely driving the right edge. There's a foul. Dufresne got a piece. And Wisely to the line for 2. And I hate to say it, but McGowan a lot of the day just has not looked well. She looks like she's in pain and she's hit the floor so much, but she's gutting it out. And Wisely's first is up and good. And McGowan putting herself in there, in the lane time and again. Not shying away from a thing, and now stepping out and hitting 2 huge threes in the 4th quarter. One more for Beth, and it's good. Makes them both. Wisely with a dozen. And the Spartans with a 7-point lead, and now under 7 to go. 74-67 as Fancher marches it ahead. Here's Dufresne driving right side. Got underneath, and the layup bounces and drops in. By the way, the 12 for Wisely, a season best. Dufresne now with 18 for CNU. Spartans up 5. McGowan right corner, overplay. She'll drive, scores! And a foul called! McGowan does it again! And this time Porter went for the steal in the right corner. And McGowan blew right by. 16 on the night. What a performance! And a free throw to try to up the lead some more. Up 7 again. And the foul shot is good. 77-69 with 6:27 to go. Now the captains with it to our left. Dufresne drives right side across to Thomas for 3. Oh, it rolls around and drops back in. All the way around the rim and down, and it's 77-72. Katie Wagner is back in. Sets it up, goes right side to Mozniak. 6 minutes to go. Down low, Wagner posting Dufresne. Turns, puts it up. It fell off the front. Rolling along the rim, and we have, oh no, Wagner just fouled out. Oh man. Captains rebounded it, and Wagner off her own miss. All the way at that end of the court with a brush. She couldn't stay away, and the Spartans are going to have to try to win this thing with no Katie Wagner for the final 5:54. Man. Her next action will come in the playoff opener Tuesday night. Captain set up to our left. Here's Maloney with it, right side, moving in, and a travel called. The help came down from Keeney, and Maloney trying to come to a stop, slipped, and CNU will call timeout. 5:38 to go, and the Spartans still in front. It's York 77, Christopher Newport 72. Timeout brought to you by Maple Donuts.
There's no running from it. Tax season will be here before you know it. The professionals at Frank Storm & Company can help alleviate the headache. Voted one of the best for all 17 years by the York Dispatch readers for both your personal and business tax needs, Frank Storm & Company makes the process easy. Payrolls, sales tax, preparation of financial statements, in addition to your personal tax service. Call today to set up your appointment at one of 3 convenient locations: York, Dallastown, and Hanover. Frank Storm & Company, committed to personalized quality service.
We're Screamin' Green. How about you? The York College Spartans are on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
$5:38 to go. It's York 77, Christopher Newport 72. And it'll be York ball at their own end. Captains will press. Ferris works it in for Hendricks. DeBria brings it up. They back off. And Hendricks angles right, turns in, drives and scores! Hendricks dribbled to the right side to set up, had a lane, and took it all the way. 79-72, 5:20 left. What a game this has been. Here's Maloney, right elbow jumper, banks it in. As she has 11, it's 79-74. 5 minutes to go. Hendricks into the front court for York. Left side, Day pivots to the baseline, shoots off the rim, and it glances to Dufresne, and the Captains will start ahead. Porter shovels to Fancher, trailing. Across to Dufresne, jab step, 3, long from the right wing. Twice off the rim, and Hendricks has it. Goes behind the back to bring it up. To our right, goes to Ferris left side, into the corner, Day. Back to Kayla for 3. That was too strong. And Fancher, the board, looking ahead. Cross the floor, Thomas. Across the lane, Porter. Run into. And the Spartan transition defense whistled for the foul. Molly Day getting back. That's her first. That is the third on the team this quarter. Captains have committed 4 here in the fourth. 4:28 to go. Zara Tanner, the baseline inbound. Left corner to Thomas. A 3, and it spins in again. She's got these home rims figured out. Another one that rolled and flushed. And it's a 2-point game. 79-77 with 4:15 to go. Here's Hendricks with it along the top. Keeney will cut out front. Keeney puts it on the deck, drives and kicks to DeBria right side. Crossover, driving in, it goes! And a foul on the play! Hendricks to the rim again! 81-77 with 4:03 to go. And a free throw coming up. And again, DeBria gets to the rack. That foul on Thomas, her second. Hendricks crossed over, looked to see what was there, and attacked it, and her free throw bounces in. That gives her 5, all here in the fourth. with Katie Wagner relegated to the bench for the rest of the day. DeBria stepping up big. 82-77, 3:50 left. Here's Porter driving, splits a double team and lays it in. Right between Wisely and Keeney, who avoided a foul. 82-79 York. Now Hendricks fires it right corner. Mazza three short. And the rebound shot side to Thomas, who had the inside step. She'll bring it up. Ahead to Tanner, right wing. Down low to Porter, and Keeney flashed across to break that up. Micah Maloney back in. Devin Bird to the bench for CNU. 3:23 to go. Tanner underneath. And in close to Porter. Right baseline, holds it, now kicks it out. And here's Tanner with it again. Hendricks out defending. Tanner will back it up. And they'll set up with 12 to shoot. High left post, Maloney squares up, little head fake, drives the edge of the lane. Layup rolls off. Dufresne the rebound, and McGowan a hard foul. As she knocked that ball straight backward, but whistled for her third, and it's on the shot. Both teams will shoot the rest of the night. And Dufresne's first is good. It's a 2-point game again. Dufresne with 19 on senior night. Big night for her, or one more, and she's got 20. And it's a 1-point game, 82-81, with 3 minutes to go. Wozniak strolls it ahead. Hendricks will come out to midcourt and take it. DeBria now with the dribble, probing. And a reach from Thomas helping. DeBria picks up and floats it back. Now Maz, high post, Wisely, off to McGowan, driving and scoring! And a timeout, York, 2:42 to go. And McGowan turns in, and there was no stopping her. All the way to the hoop for two more. She's got 19 tonight. And the Spartans up 84-81. 2:42 remaining. Timeout brought to you by Maple Donuts.
When you think of chicken pot pie, it might bring back memories in the kitchen with Grandma.
Grandma's the pot pie almost ready?
Yes, it is. I'll grab my keys. We're going to Rutter's.
For a limited time, VIPs earn triple rewards on all sizes of delicious chicken pot pie. Rutter's, why go anywhere else? Your day seems to fly by. But with a great cup of Rutter's coffee, you're on your way to conquering your day. With 6 coffee flavors, including our 4 seriously good new blends, you've got this. And we will give our VIPs triple rewards. Rutter's, why go anywhere else for coffee?
Hi, this is Katie Wagner. You're listening to York College Basketball on the Spartan Sports Network. Let's go York.
.242 to go in the regular season, and the Spartans lead 84-81 in a classic here at Christopher Newport. Trying to finish the job. Captains with the ball. York scored and called time. And the Spartans now will press as it's inbounded to Thomas. York goes full court man. Thomas will stroll it ahead with Wozniak giving her a couple of steps. Down to 2:30 left. Here's Maloney driving in and missed it going in. Wisely the rebound underneath. Some contact with McGowan, but no whistle. Maloney was off balance. Spartans into the front court, up 3. Here's Wozniak with it. 2:10 to go. Around to Keeney up top, checks the clock, left side Wisely, hits McGowan on a cut and a foul whistled. She ends up on the deck again, and she'll pick herself up and shoot 2. Knifing to the hoop, and the pass was perfect. And Micah Maloney with her 4th foul. So McGowan at the stripe. First one up, and it spins in and out. Trying to make this a 2-possession game. 2:06 to go. Maloney stays in. And McGowan with one more. It's up. That one's off the rim. And the lead remains 3. And up the floor goes Zara Tanner up the middle. Kicks to Fancher for the tie. And no good for 3. Rebound Maloney and a foul on York as she went back up. Coach Whitman with her arms up, didn't think so. Beth Wisely whistled, she doesn't think so. Puts her hands to her head saying, what did I do? That's her third. And Maloney will shoot 2 with 1:54 remaining. And here's her first. It is good. It is 84-82. And Maloney with the dreads pulled back in the ponytail. The 6'1" sophomore spins it. Second one up, and it's good. Knocks down both, and again, the Captains cut it to a point. 84-83. CNU lines up, full court. And now they'll back off a bit. Debria scurries it across. 1:50 remaining. Spartans a 1-point lead. Here's Keeney out front. Right corner to Mosniak. Down to McGowan posting. Shoots over Porter. Front rim and off. Wisely can't reach the board. And Dufresne with the rebound. Here comes Fancher up the floor. Down to Howdy Shell. In off the right baseline. Going the other way. Debria Hendricks draws the charge. Hendricks at 5'5", standing in there against the 6-footer. And it's York ball with 1:30 left. Now the Captains full court. Pressure shown again. They'll back off a bit. And Hendricks has room calling the play. Here's Wisely with it out front. Bounces it off to Debria. And a crossover on Howdy Shell. Across the lane to Wisely. Up and it bounced out. And the rebound, McGowan in there. It's kept alive. Mazza 3. That's off to the left. Rebound Wisely in the left corner. And she's tied up. They call a jump. The Spartan bench clamoring for a foul on her arms. But it is going to stay with York with 1:04 to go. And what a job on the offensive glass. Wisely in traffic, couldn't get it to sink, but the Spartans with 2 big rebounds. Debria underneath to inbound, goes to Keeney, off to McGowan, open 3 is no good, and we have a charge called on Morgan Keeney, driving it in on the setup. So now the Spartans whistled for the offensive foul. And it'll be Christopher Newport ball with 1:02 remaining. Keeney took out the entire lane there, driving it in to dish it back. Teams trade offensive fouls, and now Fancher will call time as she dribbled it toward their bench. 56.9 to go. It's a 30-second timeout. York 84, Christopher Newport 83. Spartans were down 8-2. Answered with a big run, 15-2. Took the lead. It's been as high as 10. And they've led since the first. Christopher Newport several times has cut it to 2 or 3. And a couple of times to 1. Which is where it is now with under a minute to go. Spartans trying to win the regular season finale and take third. And spoil somebody else's senior day. It's going to be captain ball right in front of their bench. And now they will spend another timeout, 2 in a row. And they don't have it on the board here how many each team has left, but Bill Broderick just spent 2 in succession. And I don't know if they lined up the sideline play and if he saw something he didn't like and wanted to regroup, but I can't imagine they have more than 1 left. Yep, the officials, thank you. They just signaled it. Captains have 1 left. The Spartans have 2 remaining. So it's captain ball in front of the table, far side of the court. Thomas, the inbounder. Hendricks up leaping. It's into Fancher. Dribbles right baseline. Turns in. Reverse layup. Didn't make it. And McGowan had her hands on it. Falls out of bounds underneath. And it goes back to Christopher Newport with 51 seconds left. That layup never hit rim. Shot clock is 19. Inbound to Porter in the lane. It's up and it's good. Going across the lane. And the Captains have their first lead since the first quarter. And a timeout York with 47.8 to go. 85-84. They announced that it was a 30. Spartans are signaling that they want a full. If they have a full, I guess all they had was 30. And they'll have 1 left. Both teams with 1 left. So York trailing for the first time since it was 8-2 and then eventually 8-7 when they went in front on a 3 in the first quarter. It is so tough to come down here and to finish the job. Spartans almost came back against CNU from down 20 at home. We mentioned a week ago the Captains themselves came back from down 16 on the road. Granted, against a not very good team. Wisely over to our right will be the inbounder. And she looks, goes into Hendricks, 45 seconds left, down a point. Here's Debria with it. Debria attacking, runner off the glass, rebound McGowan, throws it back out. Keeney to Maz, a 3, it's good! And the Spartans lead again! 35.9 to go! Sam Mozniak, her 6th of the day! And a timeout, Christopher Newport with 34.6 remaining. 87-85 York. And Sam Mozniak, for the 3rd time in her career, has gotten to 20. All since January. And she ties her career high with 6 made threes. And it gives them the lead in the final minute. 87-85 with 34.6 left. Debria initially looked to attack and missed on the drive, but Katie McGowan, who has seemingly played through pain all day watching her, got the offensive rebound, kicked it out to Keeney, who made the extra pass to Mozniak, and it was all cotton from the top of the arc. I believe she's now 6 for 7 from 3 today. Ties her career high with 6 threes. Ties the 3rd highest three-point make total in a game in Spartan history. And she does it for the 2nd time in 4 games. Now the Captains called timeout, but not able to advance it. They were in the backcourt. And they inbound to Fancher, 30 seconds left. 5-second difference on the clocks. York up 2. Hand off to Thomas. Dribbles right. Off to Porter. Drives the lane. Left hand layup. Miss. Rebound. Dufresne. Missed the putback. And it's loose on the floor. Keeney with her hands on it. Calling for time, and the Spartans got it. 14.9 to go. And Keeney seated in a crowd in the lane, got the ball on the floor. Rebounding the miss and called timeout, and it's York ball with 14.9 left. Spartans lead 87-85, and it's York ball with the shot clock off. And maybe the biggest rebound that Keeney's had in a while. This senior class has totaled so many wins. And even though they'll have a home game Tuesday regardless, if they can finish this would be near the top of the list. Against number 11 in one poll, 12 in the other. Wisely from the far sideline in front of the York bench to inbound. And looking to McGowan, knocked loose. Mosniak kept the dribble going by the table, dribbled out of bounds. Nobody was open. Wisely had to get rid of it. They're out of timeouts. And Mosniak trying to keep the dribble going, hemmed in by the table. And it touched the sideline. So it's CNU ball with 12 seconds left. A 2-point York lead. Inbound to Tanner. Across the timeline. 7 seconds left. Dufresne right wing to Porter. Drives, missed the layup. And the rebound. McGowan throws it ahead. And this game's over. And the Spartans win. 87-85. And they mob each other in the middle of the court. They've come to Newport News and stunned the captains here in the regular season finale. And the Spartans claim third place in the CAC, and they knock the captains right out of first. And spoil senior day here at CNU. What a win! The win of the year comes in game number 25. And there's still a whole lot more to go this coming week. What a game, an instant classic, and the Spartans come here and stun the 12th ranked captains, 11th in the other poll, and hand them just their third loss of the season. They couldn't wait to get that final score off the board, but I'll tell you the final. It's York 87, Christopher Newport 85. What a win! And what a way to go out in the regular season for this senior class. Now they'll look to do damage in the postseason, and if they win on Tuesday night, they will be right back here on Thursday. Wow, what a game. Larry Mosniak picking up his daughter Sam with one arm. And what a day she had. 6 threes, including the game winner with just over half a minute to play. Katie Wagner hugging everybody she could. She had to sit for way more of this game than she wanted to today due to the foul trouble. Gave Katie McGowan an enormous hug. McGowan, who, I don't know the extent of it, but looked like she was playing through pain today, but came up huge with 19 and an enormous fourth quarter that saw her score 11 of those 19 in the fourth, including her third and fourth career threes after hitting her first two just 3 nights ago. Couple of huge two-pointers as part of that 11-point fourth quarter as well. You had the men's team down in the corner waiting for their game. They were going nuts and jumping around, hanging on every play, cheering on their female counterparts here. And the Spartan women will head into the postseason 17-8. They go 13-5 in the CAC regular season. And they stun the captains who finish the regular season 22-3, 16-2 in the CAC. Their 11-game winning streak snapped, their 14-game home winning streak snapped. It is their first loss at home in over a calendar year. And just the 10th home loss that they've suffered in the last 6 seasons. The Spartans have been responsible for a pair of those. Of course, the playoff game here 3 years ago, down 18, and they came back. It's been a pretty good rivalry, and the Spartans not nationally ranked this season, but CNU is. The Spartans pull off the upset, but we've had a couple of playoff meetings, including the CAC championship game 4 years ago. The last time York won the banner came at CNU's expense. But this one will certainly be added to the list. Right now, the captains who elected to do their senior day festivities for the women after the game, they have 7 seniors, and it was going to, and it will, take a while. And rather than doing it before the game, they do it post-game here in between games. And they go from seeing several last attempts to tie it bounce off and just miss, and now they have to lift up their heads and go through the senior day festivities. And there were several near misses in that final minute attempting to tie it. The Spartans, they trailed in the final minute for maybe 20 seconds until Mozniak hit the 3 that put them back in front. And those were the only 20 seconds or thereabouts that they trailed all day after the initial 8-2 start for CNU. Spartans had not trailed since it was 8-7. They went in front with a 3 in the first quarter and led almost the entire day. And it ends a 6-game losing streak against the captains, who have been among the nation's best in recent seasons. In fact, this year, when they started 8-0, their first loss came against then number 9 Thomas More in a tournament in Hawaii in December. And other than that, their only other loss until today had been at Marymount January 6th. But when they started 8-0, they had gotten as high as number 2 in the polls. And they had actually opened the season number 2, first time they've ever reached that level in the D3 Hoops rankings. That's the type of team that York just beat here on their home court here this evening. And first win for the Spartans against the captains since February 24th, 2015, that CAC tournament quarterfinal game when these seniors were freshmen. And they came back from down 18 that day in the first half. Today, down in the opening couple of minutes, but led the majority of the way. And they win an absolute thriller. 87-85 is the final score. We'll break, and we'll go to the post-game show. We'll have the final stats and much more on this one coming up. 87-85, the Spartans win it. Stay tuned. Post-game next on the Spartans Sports Network.